Hello, hello.
I'm on time. I'm on time. This week, unlike last week, I am actually on time. I'm sorry I missed the first half hour of the show last week, but this week I'm here.
You know who's not on time?
Well, he's here, but my friend has an entrance. And as I was telling you earlier, I had a buddy of mine who watches the show, and he goes, "Yeah, you're okay, but it's Rafi I watch for."
You can still rock in America all day, all night. You can still rock in America.
My buddy asked me, he goes, "Do you guys know what he's going to do?" And I'm like, "Not a clue. We have no idea. And that's the way we like it.
Supplies.
First and foremost, where are the nunchucks?
Oh, please, hold on.
It's kind of a letdown when you don't even have the. Wait, what's going to happen?
There's a ceremony that goes with the nunchucks. Please.
I thought he was going to have them under his hat. I was going to go, that's the most awesome thing I've ever seen. If he actually had nunchucks under his hat.
Somebody who's watching, please screenshot this.
And here's what, because we call this the social distancing party. Here's what you need to know. Out of the three of us, there's only one who doesn't drink.
Yeah, that's right.
And that would be the crazy guy.
Because if you've had a couple of drinks, the last thing you want is a pair of nunchucks anywhere near your head.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
So how
and people go,
"Oh, your background just took a."
You just knocked your background down.
Oh man! Hold on. Take me off screen.
Your background's off.
Take me off screen.
Ralphie's the only one with the background because this, if you guys can tell, this is my wife's office, which is why it's this lovely shade of purple with the girly curtains and everything. So this is my wife's office that she so graciously lets me use every Friday at 5. So, okay, does he have his background back up yet, or is he still working on it?
Okay, here we go. He's back.
Look at that guy.
Oh, hey.
So happy Friday, everybody.
Hi.
Happy May. I wish we had a maypole.
I love
a maypole?
Did you guys dance around the maypole when you were kids in school?
What's
what?
a maypole?
You don't know what a maypole is?
No.
A maypole is a big pole with streamers around, and they would dance around the maypole. It's actually more, as far as I can tell, and I know because we're on the intraweb, so somebody will correct me because it's what the intraweb does. But it's mainly kind of a Russian thing where they would celebrate May because, in Russia, you have about 10 to 14 hours of summer and spring. And so they would dance around the maypole. And I was talking to a friend of mine who grew up here, older than both of you, but still he asked me, he goes, "Did you guys dance around the maypole?" And I'm like, "Dude, I grew up in South Alabama. How many Russian festivals do you think we celebrated?"
Well, wait a second though. I thought I've seen that on like a Dr. Seuss cartoon or a Disney, maybe like they were dancing around. So they have these big streamer thingies and they run around and
Dr. Seuss, well-known communist.
Get out of here. How dare you say it about Dr. Seuss?
Oh, the places you will go.
Wait.
Everybody knows Sneetches. Sneetches were Russians. Come on. Sneetches have stars or whatever it was called. Remember that Sneetches, the Sneetches book? Or was I the only one who read to his kids?
I think you were the only one who read.
You're the only one.
Isn't that because I literally I'm such a believer in reading. I literally read to my first son an hour after he was born. That's when he got his first book. I'm not kidding. An hour after he was born, I was in the hospital and I started reading to him. So how about that?
Look at you.
Yeah, and I just figured he'll be the most well-versed serial killer in prison. It'll be awesome.
Oh, jeez. Hey, how about a couple quick shout-outs to Barry Friedman? Visiting. Where's Barry from? Is that one of your buddies?
What? Yeah, but
Who's
Brad, you mean?
Brad.
Here he goes. Brad
Brad
just showed us the link for the maypole.
Yeah.
I kept thinking you were
Brad, with Brad local. Is Brad a local guy or is he from somewhere else?
He's in Colorado, and he's another speaker.
Brad, how you doing, buddy?
So Brad is basically what you're telling me is high as a kite right now.
Gary, your buddy Robert LaRocca says hello.
Robert, how are you,
Courtney
buddy?
says hey. Courtney says hey. She thought it was Nordic, I guess, referring to the that whole thing.
What's
Connie
the difference
Ray,
between the Nordics and the Russians?
What's that?
I said, what's the difference between the Nordics and the Russians? You know those Nordics and Russians, they all look alike.
Oh, they don't? Man.
View on the world.
They all look the same. Hey, also Connie Ray, I'm hoping that she, last week she was pretty upset. She got to the show late and didn't have a drink in hand, and I'm hoping Connie Ray, please let us know that you have your beverage of choice in hand and ready to go. And Nicole Hancock says hello. Dan's, how do you say Dan's last name? Squara?
Squara. Yeah.
Squara. And Kevin Hubble. Hey, Uncle Gary.
That's my nephew. His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, my friend. I love you.
Happy birthday, Kevin. Your gift is in the mail, bud.
This is it. This is the gift.
That's right. Hold on. Happy birthday to you.
My dad just jumped on. Rich Kramer says hi. Hello, Dad. How are you doing?
Hey, Mr. Kramer. Nice to
Dr.
see you.
Kramer, if you will. He worked hard for that degree. That's what? Dr. Kramer. It's Dr. Richard Kramer. Thank you, Dr.
Kramer. Yep. And then my old friend Sandy is on board too. Hey, Sandy. Wow. Got some old pals hanging in there. And thanks. Love you. Kevin. All right, Kev. Hey, you know what? You know, the one thing we haven't done is we have not asked Brian how his week has been.
How's my week? My week is good. You know, I don't know if you guys heard there's a pandemic.
Wait,
so
what?
I've been home.
Okay, what I want to know is your hair is perfect. How the hell did you pull that off?
Me?
Yes.
I shaved my head. So I got clippers and I shaved my head and then I put a new setting on and then I just shaved the whole top.
Oh, that's
and then
awesome.
I blend it in right here and then I shaved the backside.
My
the only
wife,
thing is I can't round the corners like the barbers do. So I got to use Courtney for that.
I was fixed to say you are married. I mean, wives, that's in the wedding vows. I mean, sickness and health, shaggy and not shaggy.
Yeah, and she can cut hair.
Can she? My wife cut my sides this week. She came up to me and she goes, "Can I cut your hair? Because it really looks awful." And I said, "Absolutely, because you have to remember, I can't see it. So whatever works for you is fine with me because I'm not looking at my hair." But she did require, she goes, whenever you do the Friday happy hour, you have to wear a hat. So that's why I got a hat on.
See, I don't like it when my hair comes down over my ears. That's just a thing for me. Boy. Once it starts doing that, I'm like, oh, I'm out.
Hey, Lynn just jumped in from Sonoma Valley. Hey,
Lynn Abate Johnson. She is one of our dearest friends.
Absolutely. She's nice. I always see it where we seem to always connect via Facebook on some piece of wisdom that you impart on all of us every week. So awesome.
Thank you all for tuning in. It is such a treat when you guys tune in for just us three goofing around and having fun and just letting us take an hour of your week and try to have a little fun. And all of us try to blow off a little steam and just have a good time. All three of us thank all of you because otherwise we're not doing this. We can all just do a Zoom chat amongst the three of ourselves and have a great time. But thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
and what some people don't know,
Zoom chat? I'd love one more Zoom chat. That would be amazing. I haven't had many of those.
How many do you average a week?
Oh, I'm doing at least 5 to 7 every day.
Oh.
One day I had about 8 or 9, and I looked at Courtney like I had Zoom face.
I will drop names because that's what I do. But I was talking to a record company head guy, and I was asking, I said, will you ever do phone calls again? And he goes, I don't think I will. He goes, I'm going to cut down on my face-to-face meetings, but I think I get so much more done by seeing someone's face because I know they're listening to me. That when they're on the phone, they may be playing Candy Crush as far as I know. But when we're doing this, I know I'm having an attention-filled moment And I'm like, that's fascinating. And don't you think that? I think the days of, if you're, and we're in San Jose, wherever you're looking in the world, if you've got a meeting and you live in South San Jose and you have a meeting in Mountain View, after these past couple of months, will we ever do a face-to-face meeting again? Will we drive to Mountain View for a meeting?
Right.
Nope.
And that's like a 30-minute drive for those of you who are out of the Bay Areas.
But now is the best time to drive. We went on the highway for the first time in like however long we've all been home. Yesterday, we had to take my dog to the vet, and I've never gotten to the vet that fast. We went to Los Gatos in less than like 7 minutes. It was crazy how fast we can all get around. So as long as everyone else stays home, I don't mind going to Redwood City.
That's right. No, but think about this. How many people, I mean, now that you've been parked home and working, how many people can actually get a lot done? Like if your kids were at school or whatever, could you still be productive at home as you could at work?
I talked about that today. They have a survey out. 58% of people who were polled in America, 58% feel they are more productive now than they have been 2 months ago. That they have figured out, the people who work from home a lot, like Brian already works from home a lot, but the rest of us have figured out how to be more productive at home. And we had this conversation we have our staff meeting we have two staff meetings a week at work. And our boss even said, I think we're getting more done this way because there's such a lack of wasting time that when we have a meeting, we're focused, we're getting it, we're done, we're through, we're okay. Because if you're like Brian, you got 5 more Zoom meetings coming up, right? So you don't have time to dawdle. When you have a face-to-face meeting, we'll get sidetracked on the latest episode of some TV show. But not this way. You tend to stay locked in.
Well, you know what I do miss? The only thing I really do miss is going someplace and plunking down, and that's like my workspace. You know what I mean? Where I can just lock in. It's like you go there, that's my job. I go there and work, and then when I'm done, I'll still come home and work a little bit, but I feel like I can mostly check out. Here, I still keep my laptop open, and I'm still doing stuff. So you're talking about you miss going into an office and then breaking away and leaving. Yeah. Sometimes I do, and then just the interaction with people. I'm calling a lot of people and just keeping in touch. One of the big things I've been doing a lot of is just checking in with, a lot of different people I haven't spoken to, or reminding people to check in with some of the older people who maybe don't have family around. You know what I mean? Just make sure they're all right. Because my parents are in their late 80s and early 90s. And I mean, they were sitting in the house for, 2 weeks. And I'm like, dude, you got to, they were both depressed. Said, go sit outside. So they were out there and they're loving it. I mean, they sit outside for a couple hours a day. Now they're not as miserable. It's like they can, see people and wave and all that good stuff,
Every week you make me love you a little bit more.
Oh.
Because worried about the older people, worried about his parents, worried about stuff like that. Unlike selfish me, who only cares about is my martini cold. This guy is amazing. Just remarkable.
Oh, jeez.
On show number 90, this is going to be the biggest love fest. Everybody check back into show 90.
Yeah,
90.
It'll be our Thanksgiving episode.
That's right. Thank you.
Well, should we bring in our musical guest this week?
Yeah.
You introduce him, Gary. You introduce him.
Mike Annuzzi is a local guy, a local songwriter, working his way up, doing all of this crazy stuff that we do. And I've been aware, Michael, and I've yet to, because he invited me to a show one time, and I'm like, it was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and it's so tough for me to make it during the week. And I always told him, I'm like, dude, if I ever get a chance, if you're doing a Friday or Saturday, and there's a chance I can go, I want to go, because when you talk to him, when you hang out with him, he is just this positive, fun, great guy. And so we were doing this show. I told Brian, okay, Mike Annuzzi, we got to get Mike Annuzzi in because he's just that guy and he'll fit so well in. And so we'd like to welcome you. See his picture on the screen now. It's Mike Annuzzi. Hey, Mike, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for the warm welcome.
Look, and he's doing this.
I don't know about warm. It's maybe lukewarm at best. But anyway, go on.
Warm welcome.
Now we were talking about you. When did you decide to try the path of music?
Wow. I started in music in college. I used to be a talent buyer, actually. So I used to book concerts for a major music venue. And I actually had a roster of artists that I was helping develop their career. And one of my friends from Los Angeles was touring through in his band in my small college town and was looking for an artist to open up the night. I didn't have any bands. And when he asked, please, do you have anyone else? I said, I'll do it. And that was my first pro gig. I was still in college. And ever since, I've just been gigging out. And I love playing music in the Bay Area. This is where I'm born and raised. Redwood City is my hometown. And Brian, you're welcome to drive to Redwood City with traffic or not. I'd love to hang out with you. Redwood City is my home. So
Did you go to Sarah High School? Did you go to Sarah?
I went to St. Francis. They had girls at that high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're a guy and you're playing guitar. That's the way. I like it.
Oh, thank you, Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yes. Well, and it's so interesting because, I was having this conversation the other day with a songwriter, and I'm like, back in the old days, I mean, there was no college educated people who did this. And now they're all over. Matter of fact, that's where they make connections. And what you were saying is, I've talked to so many people who were going, I was in college and we started playing these gigs and we kept getting hired by these other gigs. And all of a sudden we found out we were making $10,000 to $20,000 a month. And we're going, what are we doing? I mean, that's how Hootie and the Blowfish got around. They started playing, they were playing fraternity gigs and they kept making so much money. They were like, what? Oh, wait, we're here to do what? So, I mean, that's fascinating.
Just keep going. And it's beautiful that you could find your passion and just go with it. That's the thing that I count my blessings every single day. The guitar is something that I fell in love with as a child, and it's still with me today. I actually have a really fun story. My dad, he helped me. I was 11 years old. I wanted to buy myself a guitar. And I told my dad, can you help me look for it? And he said, if you pay for it, you could get it. His friend had a connection that they were selling a guitar. So I ended up buying it. It was $62.73 total with tax and everything. And I was ready. I bought it. And before I walked in my front door when we got home, I was so excited to show my mom the guitar. My dad said, Mike, stop. I don't want to see this guitar in your closet in 2 weeks. Meaning he didn't want me to stop. He wanted me to keep going. And I said, I'll prove you wrong, Dad. And every day since, I still say it. Hey, Dad, 2 weeks, huh?
Listen, hatred of your father has spurred so many great careers.
Oh, my dad. Come on, he's the best.
God willing.
God willing.
God
Hey,
willing.
Dr. Kramer, good to see you. Because Brian's dad is watching.
He is. Mike, you want to play us a song and kick this thing off and get us all going?
Absolutely. Let's rock and roll, everybody. It's Friday night.
Woo! All right, Mike, here we go.
Here we go, everybody. If you know the words, feel free to sing along. I wanted to party in the county jail. Prison man was there and they began to wail. A band was jumping and the joint began to swing. Should have heard them knocked out jailbirds sing. Let's rock. Come on. Everybody, let's rock. Come on, everyone. Everybody in the whole cell block wants to dance to the jailhouse rock. Spider Murphy played the tenor saxophone. Little Joe was blown on the side trombone. A drummer boy from Illinois crashed from Bang. The whole rhythm section was a purple gang. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Sing it. Everybody in the whole cell block wants to dance to the jailhouse rock. You know this one too. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Yeah, they said you was high class, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class, that was just a lie. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Sing it, everybody, come on. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday.
Woo! That's the way we do this. That right there. Isn't that awesome?
That was great. That was great.
Than you, guys.
Man.
That's just fun.
If I was wearing pants,
and Salman Kuso, I saw you commented.
Hey, you know what? I was doing, you know what you couldn't see, Mike? I was the drummer for you on that. Well, ain't no friend of mine.
Oh, nice. We should do that live sometime. It'd be great.
Yeah. I'll work on that next with my nunchucks.
I love it.
We got to see if somebody at some point will write a nunchuck song just for you.
I bet you Mike
no nunchuck of mine.
You know, out of all the words that rhyme with nunchucks, we should probably stop there.
Right?
Nunchucks, bunchucks.
Good lucks.
Huh?
Good luck.
Kind of, sort of.
Oh, my God. Beer nuts.
I just saw Salman Kuso said, you guys make me want a beer. And the problem with that, Sal, is you're an adult. I know you can do this. Go get a beer. So have fun on that.
You guys, we got a couple people that came in that said hi. We've got Tiffany. She said,
Tiffany's back.
And then we've got
Tiffany's back. I want to say hey to Ava Chin. She's a long time friend of mine. Ava. And then who else? Oh, Dan Squara. He said, I'm out here working. My essential job as a truck driver. Dan.
Cool
so who's friends with Dan? Who's friends with Dan?
I've known Dan for a very long time. Thank you, Dan.
So is Dan driving locally, or is he driving up and down the 5? What
he drives locally as far as the last time I checked in with him. But yeah, Dan's just a great guy. I've known him for 20 something years now. So yeah, it's a lot of you people out there who are doing the essential jobs. As we've said before, thank you. The stuff that doesn't get, every time I go to the grocery store, I try to thank everybody at the grocery store. I really do. I'm not Rafi checking on my parents, but I'm trying to check in with the grocery store and the essential workers. I mean, and as we've said, Brian's great about this. Go out of your way to be nice right now. Go out of your way to be nice.
Yes, you should be. Well, you should just be nice to people in general. I don't know about you, but I'm outside a lot, and people are walking by, and I'll tell you something. It is really cool. I don't know that I've met more of my neighbors and had more smiles and waves and there is let me tell you, I think this is going to be weird. I'm wondering if we're going to have a little bit of a change in lifestyle here when things get back to normal. If people are really kind of enjoying this little bit of family time and doing more with the family and maybe not going crazy, working like 77 hours a week, for what? So, I mean, I just feel it. There is a sense of like local and happy, and it's kind of cool.
Well, we all have that stress going on. And if you can remember that everybody you deal with has the same stress. And if you can just remember that, and that's what we're trying to do here. That's why we try to do the music with Michael. And Michael has been an up and coming songwriter and working. And you were nominated for one of the Songwriters Awards locally, weren't you?
Yeah, West Coast Songwriters. I've done a lot of work with them over the years, and they've been such a big support to my career. Thank you for taking notice of them. They're a great organization. A ton of great local songwriters are involved, and yeah, it's really cool.
How often do you write a day or a week?
Ooh, lately it's been actually a little bit harder to write anything because I feel like I'm writing about the same thing every day now. That's something that I miss. I miss going out and interacting with people and giving them hugs and getting those experiences to give that spark to something. So I am totally looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, writing over the years, I would write maybe one song completed a month. That's typically how I do. I'm not like one of those guys that busts out a song in one day or 3 songs a day. But I really try and start with the idea, and I try and go all the way to completion, which is, sometimes it's hard to stay motivated, and there's one word that bothers you and you focus on that one word to make it right, because every word is so important.
When you start with the idea, like, give us a sense. How do you start with that's the part that I'm curious about. How do you first come up with the idea, or how do you first spark that?
Well, right now I'm thinking about nunchucks. So
good luck with that.
Spark me later, and I'm thinking, how do you use them? And I'm thinking about, anyways, the idea just sparks. Honestly, like, one of the best pieces of advice I got from any songwriter was disconnect yourself from the song, because you could always tell the story better. And it's kind of true. When you're too connected to something, it's really hard to say to describe the right way to somebody else to have them understand it. But if you're just telling a story, I heard about this guy that was walking down the street and he popped out his nunchucks and it was, whoa, it's more a descriptive story. So I try.
There is a tender love song waiting to be written right there.
Guy with nunchucks.
Popped out my nunchucks.
Right.
And then I was promptly arrested. It's and it turned into a wrong kind of love story, but that's okay. Now, do you write mainly by yourself, or do you workshop with people?
I have done some co-writes. I just actually I wrote a song for a Netflix movie that's going to come out. It's actually been a little bit delayed right now, but that actually sparked a co-write with the music supervisor directly. So I'm really excited to get those out. And it's really fun being able to work with different minds, because the story is always told just a little bit differently. And that one word could change the whole outcome of the entire song. And I really like co-writing because of that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I had the chance to work with another local songwriter, Jennifer Aiden, who wrote "She Wouldn't Be Gone" by Blake Shelton. And I remember the day that we met for our first co-write, I came up with this one idea and I said, this is kind of the target that I want to go with it. And she was able to, take it to a completely different level. And she's an amazing songwriter locally and also in that West Coast Songwriters group as well. So it's songwriting is a really, it's a beautiful thing to be able to share with. It's Friday.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I totally get it. And somebody on Facebook just asked, when you're writing, have you ever gotten stuck? And if so, how do you find the right story?
Wow.
That's a rough question, Facebook user.
Facebook user. 10 points for that Facebook user.
Wow.
I'm going to have a sip of my water before I answer that one. It's getting hot in here.
Take 2 sips if you have to.
Yeah.
Hey, while he's taking his 2 sips, can we say hi to some people?
Let's do it.
I've got 2 Carolyns to say hi to. Carolyn in Colorado, great longtime friend of mine. Also want to say hey to Carolyn, my sister-in-law down in Studio City, who's she's actually saying hi to my wife, not to me. So I guess I'm unhiying Carolyn. So hi, Carolyn. And Karen Taylor is, Karen too, don't you, Karen?
Yep. Hey, Karen.
Great friend, long time friend. So, and then Laura's here too. Yes. Okay. Hi, Laura. Anyone else? Am I missing anyone? Did I forget anyone?
And that question came from Liz Taylor, who is a friend of ours. She's now in Arizona. She was originally in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Well, good. And when you get stuck, it's like anything else. When you get stuck, it's waiting for. And sometimes the answer doesn't come for days, weeks, months. Someday, and I've talked to some songwriters years where they've started a song and they wanted to finish it, but the whatever continuation never happened, and all of a sudden it did happen. Where, as you've said, somebody said something, you saw something, and then everything fell into place. And to me, a song gets written when it's supposed to.
So you know the lady that just asked this question, I should have actually prefaced this. She writes one book, I want to say every 3 months. She's one of the best, most prolific romance book writers, and has over, Courtney will correct me on this, or Liz will too. It's like over 50 books, 50 bestseller books. She just sits there and writes and writes and writes. And you know what baffles me is, where does all this flow come from? The creative flow to be able to do something like that, like writing music, sitting down and just getting into the flow. I mean, how much time do we all have right now? And yet how much flow are we actually finding in what we need to be creative? And I'm curious about that. How are you guys finding that?
I think you just have to go with it. Go with the flow. You have to let it happen, and don't let yourself hold you back on it. You know, a lot of people, they say they dedicate it a certain time of day to write, or dedicate a certain time frame. But, you know, for me, actually, I'm lucky because my early days, like I play at night, I perform live music at night. So during the day, I have a lot more flexibility, and I'm not going to block myself in from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. to write. I just let it happen when it comes, and I don't hesitate. If I have the Taylor Swift method, have a recording device next to you and sing it into your recording device and go back later and revise and edit.
That's what my wife does in the middle of the night. And I think she's talking to me. And then I realize like she has no, like, she doesn't even care about me. I'm like, she's just like talking to herself, and that's okay. So
have you heard her say, I need to call the attorney? No.
And then I roll over to my recorder and I say, call your attorney too.
Michael, have you got an original song you want to play for us?
I can do that. Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. This is a brand new song. I actually released it on March 20th. So thank you guys for letting me share this song. This song is called Give Me Some of That. Girl, you better believe it. When I saw you walking in, it got my knees a little shaky. I never get like this. I got my mind already made up. You see the way it is. Come here, baby, and give me a kiss. Give me some of that good stuff with a strong bite. Taste like sugar on your lips. I wanna wake up in the morning with the sunrise wrapped up in your kiss. There ain't nothing like a blue sky after a long night. I wanna see you open your eyes every morning with the sunlight shining in our room. So give me some of that. Thank you guys for letting me share an original song tonight. Right from the moment I laid my eyes on you, I wanted to control it, but there was nothing I could do. You cast your spell on me, but if you would grant me just one wish, well, come in, baby, and give me a kiss. Give me some of that good stuff with a strong bite. Taste like sugar on your lips. I wanna wake up in the morning with the sunrise wrapped up in your kiss. There ain't nothing like a blue sky after a long night. I wanna see you open your eyes every morning with the sunlight shining in our room. So give me some of that good stuff with a strong bite. tastes like sugar on your lips. I wanna wake up in the morning with the sunrise wrapped up in your kiss. There ain't nothing like a blue sky after a long night. I wanna see you open your eyes every morning with the sunlight shining in our room. So give me some of that. Thank you everybody for letting me share that original song called Give Me Some of That. You guys are awesome. Happy Friday night, you guys. Cheers, everyone. Thank you all.
How about that? How about that? Original music from Mike Anuzzi. That's who you're listening to right now on the social.
95.3 KRTY.
You want to
Yes,
give me
thank you
some
very much.
Shucks, baby.
Are you 95.3 KRTY or 95.3 KRTY?
95.3, because we went to that years ago when it became digital. But you know what the truth is, and Rafi and I are getting inside radio. You know how you used to have to start everything with your call letters? You don't have to do that anymore, because people can look on their screen and see who they're listening to, or they have already told Alexa, turn on KRTY. Or in my case, they can go, Alexa, turn on Gary and Julie, and the thing will open up. So the old way that we used to do radio, where you used to have to say your call letters constantly, you don't even do that. I rarely ever say the call letters anymore. I just don't. I'm just like, hey, it's 7:10, Gary and Julie. Okay, here we go. You know, because you know where you're at.
Hey, let's enjoy the sounds of Mike Anuzzi here on 95.3 KRTY.
I hope
that's a nice ring. I like that, guys.
I hope. And you know, whether it's Mike or, you know, better for Mike if he could get a cut on some, like, say, Thomas Rhett or Tim McGraw album, and that's when the money comes in.
Yeah, that would be a super big honor. You know, that's something else too. When you're writing, you think about who else would sing that song. You know.
And they do. I literally did a thing yesterday with a couple of songwriters who stuff, because I name drop. That's what I do. And that's what they said, that sometimes they'll write a song thinking, man, this would be great if Tim McGraw sang it, or this would be great if so-and-so would sing it. And they said, rarely does it ever happen. But you write thinking that that's who you would love to hear it. And then all of a sudden, somebody that you didn't expect will come up and go, no, Carrie Underwood decided to record it. And you're like, really?
You're like, oh,
you know, it was a song about, you know, shaving my chest and getting ready for the gym. Really? Carrie Underwood's going to do it. Okay. So,
Gary, you just set my dad's Alexa off by saying what you said. You just said, Gary, you just set off my Alexa.
That's right. Echo 95.3 KRTY. You're welcome.
Hey, I forgot to mention, guys, we have a sponsor for today's show.
Oh, Mike, you didn't know this. We have a sponsor every week.
Every week.
Who is it?
It's the new Hulk Hogan, I should say old Hulk Hogan toothbrush. Look at this thing.
You can have clean teeth and wrestle too?
Hold on. Let me read what it says here. It says, including 2 soft bristle brushes that are gentle. Hulk Hogan says, drop a leg on tooth decay and lay a sleeper hold on cavities, and much, much more. And what you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild over you, brother?
Can I ask you how long you've had that? How long have you had that?
Well, if you must know, do you remember a couple of weeks ago, our other sponsor, Craig Heikem from Heikem Honey?
Yeah.
So you know what? He snuck up on our porch the other day and dropped this off. Didn't know it. And I'm going, I wonder who the heck dropped this off. And then all of a sudden I get a message from him, and it's him talking like Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Step into a Slim Jim.
That's right. And it was actually him. He wouldn't tell me where he got it, but I thought, how awesome is it that when your friends really know who you are, when it's all about Hulk Hogan and the toothbrush, please, you know?
Who has not woken up one day and said, I wish I had Hulk Hogan in my mouth? Who has not done that? I mean, all of us at some point.
Did you really just?
At some point, all of us. I mean, if we're being truthful and honest.
What did I get myself into?
Gary, what happened?
No.
Dude, you went like over here. You just right off the road. What was that?
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Listen, you know why I said it? Because Brian was thinking it.
I was.
And how did you know Brian was thinking it?
We've been friends for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yes. Okay. Well, boy, so much for a family program. Jeez Louise.
Hey, you're the one who brought up Hulk Hogan toothbrushes, brother.
Well, you put that Hulk Hogan in your mouth.
You know, here's an inside scoop story. I have a buddy who used to work out with Randy Macho Man Savage, and he said he had these big muscles, and it's not a secret. It was steroids, right? He goes, it was amazing because the guy could not lift any weight. So you get these big muscles, but you can't lift any weight. And I'm like, wow, isn't that shocking? You know, that was thing. And God rest his soul. He's on the other side now. But still, I just always thought, man, what a crazy time. He said he was a great guy. Said he was an absolute great guy. But it's interesting. And wrestling was such a hard business. It's better now, but it was a hard business back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
That's what, the Rock talks about his dad saying how crazy he was for wanting to go into wrestling instead of into football.
Well, in the 70s, his dad, Rocky Johnson, was a big wrestling guy in the 70s. And Rocky Johnson, Peter Maivia, all related to The Rock. So, hey, how about some acknowledgments here? We got to say hey to Facebook user. Says, as a mom to an infant, my freestyle nursery rhymes are in a total flow. The no pressure audience really helps with the flow.
That is Laura Vella. Laura Vella, I should say. Laura Vella.
Okay. And then Pensive Poet says hey to you. And
that's my good friend.
Our great friend Aurora out in Santa Cruz. What's up, Aurora? And then Leanne Isaacson from South Australia. Good morning to you. Now that's pretty awesome. And then Dr. Kramer's back, it looks like. And who else? Shawn King, one of my great friends. Shawn King is listening out in Florida right now, I believe. I love it. And this is
my friend Nancy Dickinson, the tamale mom. Every year for Christmas, she drops off tamales at the station for me for Christmas.
Wait, who is
she's
this?
done it, Nancy Dickinson, and she's done it for years, and they are amazing tamales. So
that's weird that you bring that up. My daughter has been asking for some fresh tamales, and I was just going to go get some.
If you can get on Nancy's tamale list, I heartily recommend it.
I'll work on that. Nancy, let's get on that, please. All right.
That's what we were talking about cooking, because you were saying Michael's Italian, right? Anuzzi.
Anuzzi. You use the hands.
Anuzzi.
Capisce? Capisce?
How is it? Armenians talk with their hands. Jewish people talk with their hands. Italians talk with their hands.
Southern people talk while eating. Hey, y'all. So, Michael, what do you cook?
Oh, tonight is pizza. And I always say Anuzzi. It's like pizza. That's how you say my name. So,
Michael, when I was in Venice with I'm sorry, what you were going to say?
I was going to say that it takes a long time to let the pizza dough rise. You got to give it a minute to let it rise. And you know when it's ready, when it's ready.
What you're saying is I will never know when it's ready.
I never cook with a recipe. I always just feel it out, and you can tell when the pizza dough is ready to roll out and get it. Oh, it's so good.
But
I know when it's ready because they tell me to pick it up in 20 minutes.
There you go.
Well, hey, let me tell you something. We worked in high school. We worked at Mountain Mike's in Cupertino for the stretch of about 6 days total.
Yeah.
And there was 4 of us, and
a 6-day job.
6 days.
It was awesome. And what happened was our friend Steve Ernst worked there with us, and he got fired after the second day because he put a pizza in without sauce and uncooked and put it in somebody's box and gave it to them, and they left with it. They never bothered opening the thing to look, and it was uncooked with no sauce. So he was fired immediately.
Now, Michael, what are your preferred toppings?
Every night's different, man. Oh, you look in your fridge. You could pick anything out of your fridge and make a really good pizza out of that. I have Nutella in my cabinet right now, and I have bananas, and I'm like, should I make a dessert pizza out of this? That would be delicious. Or you could, I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about pineapple, but hey, if you got pineapple,
not on a pizza, not on a pizza.
I think you can if you can put fish on a pizza, by God, you can put pineapple on a pizza.
You can put anything.
You know, that's my thing. There's you know, if you don't like pineapple on a pizza, don't eat the pineapple on the pizza. I'll have yours. And if you don't like fish,
what Italian are you?
So no, I mean honestly, you could
with
take
the last name like
pineapple
Thomas
off of it that's already cooked and eat the rest of the pizza, and it'll still be amazing because it's pizza.
Well, but what's tonight? So you're gonna make a Nutella pizza tonight?
I think I'm gonna do two different pizzas. One is gonna just be like a standard marinara, basil, tomato, and some mozzarella. The other, I don't even know yet. We'll see when we get there.
Are you married?
No, but I am blessed with a beautiful Italian girl in my life.
Sorry, ladies. Sorry, no Nutella pizza for you. Sorry.
No, but you know what? You know what's bothering me a little bit? The way you said mozzarella. What are you? What kind of Italian are you?
Come on.
Come on. It's mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Yeah, come on.
Hey,
work
actually,
with me here.
I made mozzarella last week.
Have you made cheese?
Yeah. Mozzarella is Jewish. It's
Rafi. Rafi, have you made mozzarella?
Yeah, Rafi.
Have you ever made it?
No.
Okay, scoreboard, Michael.
Nice.
What's mozzarella?
I have never made
honestly,
cheese.
You just use milk, and then you kind of boil it. It's not to a full boil, but then you add like lemon juice or vinegar or something, and you stir it, and then it curds together.
Wait,
it's really easy.
You're talking about real mozzarella.
Oh, we're talking about legit stuff, and you eat that with the tomato.
I thought when you said mozzarella, I thought you were joking about something else. No, mozzarella. No, I've never made mozzarella. No.
Yeah,
I can't believe you're, Rafi. I can't believe you're cheese shaming right now.
You know,
when we were in Venice, I was there with my wife on a business trip, on the tail end of a business trip, and the moment I got there, I was so taken with Italians and the way that they are with each other, but yet like how honest they are at the same time. Like it's like you want to connect with them and then you want to punch them. Like it's like they're so, like no, I mean like in a good way. Like they're so embracing and hugging and so then I like turn to my wife and I'm like, this is a good and you start talking like that while you're there. And before I knew it, I just couldn't stop. And for 3 days, this is a good trip. Courtney, how can we not be here with our people? And then she wanted to so I think that for the rest of this, we are all going to be talking like this.
Don't make it do it.
They're wonderful and honest at the same time. Here, have us some pizza, but not so much for you, you little fatty. Here.
You know, hey, who are you talking to?
The funny thing is when my family did a guys trip, my dad, my brother, and I, we went to Italy a couple years ago. And actually, the funny thing was a liter of water was more expensive than a liter of vino. But wine.
And it's that happened because my wife went to Spain and she said the same thing, that they have all these canisters of wine and you can get a jug full for just a little bit because it's like the national drink. And I'm like, my God, I was born in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, you want to talk about these are my people. These are my people. So before I want to do a couple. I have family listings. So my are watching my sister Mahaley and my cousin Carol and my nephew and my other cousin Leisha and my niece Robin. Thank you guys. It's so good to see you. I love you. I can't wait to be with you and give hugs. I want to get all Italian with you.
Is that what it is, huh?
It'll be fun for us to be together.
Oh, Brian!
The Italians who are viewing right now are probably going to climb through their little Ethernet cable and slug you in, and well, forget it.
No, I guarantee my Italian family that's watching right now is going to come and give you a big hug.
As long as they bring some of that
it.
homemade mozzarella with them, that's all we care about. I mean, right
that's
there.
going to happen.
Well, we're rapidly running out of time. Should we have Michael throw some wagon wheel on us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is
a wagon wheel? Are you doing wagon wheel from Old Medicine? What is it called? Old Medicine Ball?
Darius Rucker, all of the above, Bob Dylan, all of them did it. This is a great song. They call this a Broadway anthem out there in Nashville when everyone used to play at every bar in Nashville on Broadway. You could hear this song 24 hours a day, every moment of the day. So everybody, if you know the words, feel free to sing along. Here we go. Heading out south to the land of the pines. I'm thumbing my way into North Carolina. Stand up the road, pray to God I see headlights. Made it down the coast, 17 hours. Picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers. And I'm hoping for Raleigh I can see my baby tonight. Happy Friday, y'all sing. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock Mama, anyway, Mama, rock me. Oh, rock me, Mama, like the wind and rain. Rock me, Mama, like the southbound train. Hey, Mama, rock me. Y'all sound great. Come on. Running from the cold, up in the rain. I was born to be a fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I'm playing the banjo now. Oh, in North Country, when she getting me down. Lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave town. Ain't turning back, living that old life no more. Sing it, y'all, come on. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, Mama, rock me. Oh, rock me, mama, rock me. And the rain, rock me, mama, like the southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. One more time, y'all sing it. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Oh, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like the southbound train. Mama, rock me. Y'all sound great. Thank you so much for singing along tonight, you guys. Happy Friday, everyone.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? And if you're a local artist, we've said before, if you're a local artist and you would like to join us, just like Mike Anuzzi has done and a couple of other guys that we've been so blessed and just thankful for, you can reach out to us. You can go to my Facebook page or Rafi's Facebook page or Brian Kramer's, and we will we'll try to hook you up, because we'd love to give you the platform to just come out and have fun, just like Mike's done, which has just been great. But you have to suffer through us three.
That's that's how you get paid. You have to tolerate us for an hour.
Man, it's been a blast. You guys definitely it heated up here at some points, y'all.
Well, it gets that. We're known.
It was all the mozzarella talk, is what it was.
Yeah, we're known for the hard-hitting questions and the inappropriate Hulk Hogan humor.
Thank you.
I actually had the Hulk Hogan theme song stuck in my head yesterday. It's so funny that you brought this up.
What is it?
I was walking around the house going, I am a real
American. Can you play that on guitar?
I don't know.
How many theme songs do you know, Rafi, as far as wrestling goes? It seems like you're quite the wrestling aficionado.
Oh, boy, you have no idea. Gary, if you sat with me for one day, I would torture you to no end. I am a walking music. Ugh, God. I wake up singing songs in my head. They're just songs in my head. Yeah, all the time.
And I would be that way with you on Doctor Who. So we'd literally be the two worst people to spend a day with of anybody in the history of the world.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be torture for both of us.
Look, somebody asked, do you need any Aussie singers? Yes, we could use Aussie singers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
I
look,
didn't
my
see
cousin Sandra. Sandra, hi, Sandra. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. I so appreciate that.
I
It's
don't
so
know
good.
how long has Leanne lived in Australia? Because there was a couple great bands that came out of Australia. A band called Boom Crash Opera that was from the late 80s, early 90s. And, of course, the great band Midnight Oil.
The beds are burning.
That's right. Very good knowledge.
Thank you.
Australia. What else? Oh, Men at Work. Come from land
And
down
what's
under.
her
Right?
name from Grease Lightning?
Olivia
Olivia
Newton-John.
Yeah. See?
Grease is the word as we get physical.
Right.
But please don't
You're
play
the one.
B-17.
You're the one that I want. Ooh,
It was
ooh.
our song. It was his song, and now we're over.
What?
Olivia Newton-John, please, Mr. Please don't play B-17. It was our song. It was his song. Now we're over.
Yes.
People
Hey,
forget
wait,
Olivia Newton-John, I think.
Lynn just said we should get Michael Franti on the show. Does Lynn know Michael Franti? He used to be.
What? Where was
She
that?
said Michael Franti. Michael Franti is legendary in Bay Area. He also was the lead singer for a hip hop group called the Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy, and then of course had a solo stuff that we all know and love. So there you go.
Very cool.
Solid.
I'm thinking one more song to play us home. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Let's go with it.
I'm down.
All right.
I love it.
Are you going to do the wrestling theme medley right now?
Cue guitar song. No, probably not. But I really love the blues, and the Bay Area has also got a lot of really great blues musicians around here, and this is one of the blues standards. So let's sing it all together. Well, I heard about love giving sight to the blind. My baby's love caused the sun to shine. She's my sweet little thing. Sing it, y'all. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby, and I'm a little lover boy. I love my baby, heart and soul. Love like ours don't never grow old. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. Sing it, y'all. She's my sweet little baby. I'm just a little lover boy. Come on, man. I love my baby like the finest wine. Stick with her until the end of time. She's my sweet little thing. Sing it. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby, and I'm just a little lover boy. I love my baby, she's long and lean. Mess with her and see a man get mean. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby, and I'm just a little lover boy. She's my sweet little baby, and I'm just a little lover boy. Cheers, y'all. Happy Friday night, everybody.
Woo!
Yes. Yes.
Chucks.
Yes.
Nice. Rafi, bring us home.
You can still rock in America. Oh yeah. All right.
No, I meant just say goodbye to everyone.
Oh, darn it! I thought you wanted me to sing another song.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe you'd thank everyone and.
Oh, hey everybody! Thanks for tolerating us for the last hour, and hopefully we'll do it next. We're on next Friday, right, 5 to 6 o'clock, and tell a friend. And do we have any other sponsors?
I think so. Who did your painting in the background?
Oh, this? What's wrong with my upside down bird? What? What's wrong?
He does
I
not
did.
drink, everybody.
You know,
He does not drink.
until you pointed it out, I had no idea it was a bird.
Yes. Well, it's just upside down. See?
Well,
There's the
then again, I do drink. So, I mean, that kind of explains a lot of things. So
why don't you just go upside down and stand on your head for a minute and it'll all make sense.
Michael Anuzzi, thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming on with us. We
And
sort of
thanks,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
You guys
joining
made my
us.
Friday night.
Yes, Mike, thanks again, man. A lot of fun having you.
We'll
Thank
see y'all
you.
soon. Cheers.
All right.
See
Bye,
you
everybody.
guys.